The Trump administration on Wednesday dismissed an Israeli TV report that said its forthcoming peace plan would offer Palestinians a state in most of the West Bank with parts of Jerusalem as its capital. And the headline of that report is that White House slams Israel TV story on its peace plan as not helpful speculation. And I have a hard time believing that it is speculation. It says Channel 13 reported hours earlier that a senior American official had said Trump's peace proposal would provide for Jerusalem to be divided, with Israel maintaining sovereignty in West Jerusalem, parts of East Jerusalem, and the Holy Basin, including the Old City and its immediate environs. However, it added that the Holy Basin area would be jointly run with the Palestinians, Jordanians, and possibly other countries. The original report came out of the Jerusalem Post. While I respect the report that Channel 13 in Israel made, it is inaccurate, tweeted Jason Greenblatt, the White House Special Envoy for Mideast Peace, referring to the reporter who broke the story. Speculation about the content of the plan is not helpful. Very few people on the planet know what is in it. Well, the plan in question is stating that the Palestinian state would be created up and would include 85 to 90% of the West Bank, and Israel would keep all large settlements, but the smaller settlements would have to be evacuated, and any land that Israel has taken would be compensated through land swaps. Now, certainly the Trump administration is denying that any of this is factual, and frankly, if this is the roadmap to come to Middle East peace, it kind of looks like the same that we've always seen and heard over the years. But what might be different are the people who are actually coming to the table. As you know, many in the past have come and gone when the Palestinians, they might come to the table, but about a couple of months into the negotiations, they usually walk away. What may be different under the Trump administration is this. He's going into the plan and is going to reveal it knowing that the Palestinians will probably reject it. Meaning this may be a take it or leave it deal. And if the Palestinians take it, then they will be wrapped into this deal with many that Trump is trying to put together behind the scenes. And whether you know it or not, President Trump is working hard to get Arab and Islamic nations to normalize ties with Israel. And in the last few months, you've seen Israel visit various Islamic nations, and some of these leaders have come and visited Israel as well. You've also seen the new president or prime minister of Brazil saying favorable things toward Israel, and also invited Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to his country to have a state visit. But it's possible that could very well be what the Trump administration will do. And they may be looking to force the hand. That may be the most important part of this. They may be looking to force the hand of the Palestinians to get on board with this peace plan or be left behind. And the Bible says at some point in time, whether it be through the Trump administration or through a leader coming out of the EU, that whatever is holding up this peace plan the domino will finally fall. And whether or not that will include the Palestinians or not, I have to believe that it will, but if it doesn't, that's not the only sticking point at this point anyway. One other is that in the supposed Trump peace plan, the rumor is that the Palestinians, the Jordanians, and other Islamic nations would still control the holy sites. And I have to believe that's the Temple Mount as well. At some point in time, there's going to have to be a breakthrough that will allow the temple to be rebuilt. I was talking to somebody tonight that it's strange, but you have to believe that it's in God's hands. That back in 1967, when Israel regained Jerusalem and various other lands, including the West Bank, that after possessing Jerusalem and the holy sites, and of course the Temple Mount, because there was such an uproar over Israel taking over the Temple Mount, they ended up giving it back and left it in the hands of the Jordanians. So just when this prophecy seemed to be taking shape with the possibility of the new temple being rebuilt, the Israeli leadership chose to give it back. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the miracle is going to be that is going to reposition the holy temple site and the Temple Mount back in the hands of Israel so that they can finally rebuild their temple. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I'm certainly anxious to see how it's going to turn out. And I'll keep you up to date as we move toward the Israeli elections on April 9th. Certainly it will be interesting to see where this goes from this day forward. And if you don't know the Lord, I would encourage you to ask Him to save you today. And you who are Christians, if the rapture takes place tomorrow, will your lost friends and loved ones be prepared? Well, they can be if you get a copy of my Tribulation Period Survival Guide. There's two different versions. There's the free version that you can download and put on any device. But I would recommend that you get the paid version, which is a paperback book that will allow you to physically hand it to your lost friend or loved one so that they will have this book on hand once the rapture takes place. You certainly don't want the world telling your lost friend or loved one how they need to react or the steps they need to take once the rapture takes place and the tribulation period starts. So I'd recommend that you get this book as quickly as possible. Go down to the description section of this video, click on the link, and it will take you to whichever you prefer. Well, this is Terry Malone with the Calvary Prophecy Report.